Hotep, Black Power, giving honor to the Creator, the ancestors, my sister, Chief of Staff, Harris Abdul, the Street Law Soldiers, my father, my in-laws, and all of our ancestors, and everybody that's fighting for liberation and salvation of the black nation. Also my subscribers and people that are on the team or on the side of liberation. Today I just came back from a funeral, and I just want to spend a couple of minutes talking about this man-made, not only man-made, but it's been specifically flooded by these crackers in the inner cities to eliminate and wipe out the black male primarily, but all blacks in particular, with this fentanyl drug, which was originally designed to euthanize elephants. You know, now if it can put an elephant to sleep, you know, 5 or 6 ton elephant, you know, putting a 150-pound human being is no problem. And I haven't seen anyone yet that has returned from a fentanyl overdose. And that's how powerful this synthetic drug is that was, like I said, originally designed for animals. I'm just returning from a viewing of a comrade that I knew who apparently overdosed on fentanyl. Now, my theory is this: anyone who overdoses off fentanyl has been murdered by white supremacy, by the system of racism, white supremacy. You know, and I don't even want to name the people that I know who have succumbed to fentanyl. But it was so disheartening to see this brother, young brother in his 30s, early 30s, who just got released from prison a week ago and wasn't home 48 hours before he was dead. Not only that, the house that he was in, the people just put him outside without calling paramedics or anything. So, you know, to me, that's considered a homicide by way of overdose. So, also to all the brothers out in Colombia, brother Tehran Kosh, who's a conscious young brother who I'm so proud of, brother Willie Harden, brother Burgess, and the rest of the brothers out there, all the brothers and sisters out there in that area that I know, you know, brother Gerald and Ebony, you know, stay alive. My theory is stay alive, regardless what you may be engaging in. And I say that because the black family has had a history over the years of condemning and persecuting people who were struggling with substance abuse. And it's no room for that shit now, you know. And we need to go at this cracker about this fentanyl that the police are putting in the hands of the black community. Now, a brother just told me that in Baltimore that they have a strip that they don't sell nothing but fentanyl, and the police sit and watch without making any arrests or anything. They encourage basically by their presence our brothers and sisters to purchase fentanyl. And so, you know, as always, it's not an epidemic until it hits the white communities, you know, just like this opiate so-called epidemic. And we've had opiates in the black community for over 100 years, and it's never been an epidemic. You know, if anything, it always has been endorsed as a solution to deal with white supremacy. But enough of that. What I'm going to talk about, if you can see the screen, is the extermination of the black community. Give me a second. The extermination of the black community. And if I tell you what the number one killer in the black community is, you will be shocked. You will be totally shocked. And we're going to talk about that today. And there's a couple of pictures in here that may be disturbing, but I deal with reality. As you can see, that fetus, 655,000 black babies were aborted in 2017. 655,000. And if you can see that graphic photo of one of our little kings or queens that's sitting in literally a salad bowl, because of the fact that, you know, we've been encouraged, we have gotten comfortable with the murdering of our babies. Planned Parenthood. This is nothing but a government-funded slaughterhouse for babies, for infants. And what they do is they encourage these young women. You know, when you hear these so-called leaders, Al Sharpton and all these perm-wearing fucking punks and boule-ass niggas that promote this bullshit and encourage these young sisters to go to Planned Parenthood and get your baby murdered by way, you know, these babies are burnt to death inside the womb. Literally burnt to death. For what? Because you couldn't deal with a night at the club, you know, and you got hot in your ass. You know, you done had some drinks or Molly. You weren't raped. You saw a man that looked good. You went home and fucked him. And now that you got pregnant, you don't want to deal with the responsibility. So you go to Planned Parenthood, the fucking slaughterhouse. You know, and if you see, it says 80% of all Planned Parenthoods are in the black hood. Are in the black communities. That means out of every 100 Planned Parenthoods, only 20 of them is sprinkled in the white communities. You know, but 80% of them are in the black communities. Now, if you look at this bitch who created Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, you know, and she stated that she founded in October 16th, 1916, in order to eliminate what she thought were inferior races like Oriental Jews and blacks, and she referred to them as human weeds. And this bitch was a devil. And now your man, now this is your man, Obama. You know, Obama, the homosexual president, said that he was truly grateful to Planned Parenthood. Thank you, Planned Parenthood. God bless you. And this bitch said the most merciful thing that the large family does to one of its members is kill it. Meaning that they should be rewarded. A mother, if she has 5 children, she's pregnant with 1 on the way, another 6 on the way. And if she kills that 6th one, she should be rewarded. And Barack Obama put so much money and endorsed Planned Parenthood. Now, it's not me making this up. It's not me saying this. You can see it on the screen. Now, in 2011, Planned Parenthood received $542 million in taxpayers' dollars and killed a black baby every 94 seconds. Every 94 seconds. And there's no way you all should, the only people that are not mad are the ones who are guilty of aborting children. And the reason why is because of this shit. This hip hop, this hip hop wives bullshit. And don't get it twisted. When you're too fucking trifling and lazy and stinking and trifling, you don't want to monitor what your babies watch, and your daughters are watching hip hop wives and love and hip hop and all this bullshit, and the way that they dress, because they want to dress like them and they want to act like these entertainers and these rappers and these R&B sluts and whores. Because that's what the black woman has succumbed to today in terms of the music industry. She's become a singing slut. She comes on stage half naked, gyrating her hips. All the little girls see that and they want to be just like them. And don't get it twisted. Those guys that be on Love and Hip Hop that be kissing them women, those are the same guys that be in those gay porno DVDs. So don't get it twisted. Just like when you watch porno, which I don't watch it. Because what am I watching? Another man put his dick in a woman. And that's the sick part about it. Some of y'all sit there, and you play with your dick, and you're looking at another man's dick while you're playing with yours, but you ain't gay. Get the fuck out of here with that. You need to get some, better check your motherfucking self. And see, you parents, this is the shit. This is the slut shit that your babies are watching. And by you not monitoring, and then some of you parents act like goddamn teenagers. Act like you 50 years old, but you act like you in high school. You got boots all the way up over your motherfucking knees. You got on stretch tight on leggings. With no dress or nothing over top of it. You look like your ass is shaped like a goddamn ironing board. Look like you got a fucking pamp on. Because you done lost your shape from being on your motherfucking back with your legs touching people's ceiling. Thinking that shit cute. You got Star Trek veins coming down your tits. Your nipples is around your fucking belt buckle. You got a hair weave in. You got them broke ass fingernails with glue where you was rushing to put that shit on your fucking toenails, feet coming out your sandals, toenails scratching the goddamn club floor, because you borrowed somebody's goddamn shoes. Because you are that motherfucking influenced and mesmerized and under the hypnosis of this goddamn beast. And this is the demonic energy that has taken control of these sisters. And brothers, y'all not getting away. Don't even think about, it's all going to be about the sisters. Because some of you motherfuckers are trifling. You've been in jail. You got shit on your dick. You don't tell these queens that you're bisexual because you're a closet punk. Just because you come home from prison with muscles every motherfucking way, a lot of people don't buy into that shit. You know, and then some of you go to the club and you lie and say you single, but you got babies all up and down the goddamn East Coast. You know, you don't take care of near one of them. You got warrants everywhere. And you sitting there drunk as a motherfucker lying. And the money you supposed to spend on trying to take care of your children, you got on goddamn Jordans. Your babies are starving. They drinking powdered milk and the fucking whole kit and caboodle, the whole welfare, you know, fill your stomach up kit. While you in the club making it rain and all this bullshit. Faking. A lot of you don't want to work, you're lazy, you're trifling, you sit around and get high all day, and then when these sisters pull your card, first thing you want to do is hit them with a goddamn hook upside their head. Because you didn't have a father. Your mother raised you. She taught you how to be a good woman. Because she couldn't teach you how to be a man, because it's impossible for a woman to teach a boy how to be a man. So all she did was gave you a lot of female skills. You know, and they use Nicki Minaj and Lil' Kim, you know, because a lot of these little girls, you know, want to be like Beyonce, you know, legs gapped open, gyrating their hips. You know, the candy shop and all this bullshit. You know, and then a lot of you women are teaching your boys, instead of you really trying to save his life, since there's no man in the house, go online and get a mentor. Find a mentorship program where you got a lot of brothers that will volunteer their time to help your son in a manhood. But you don't have time for that. Because you got a nigga upstairs naked, eating them goddamn children's cereal up, watching goddamn cable. I'm telling you, man, black community is fucked up. You know, this is the type of shit. You know, that this the shit that your daughters are doing when you're not home. When they go in their room, they go in the mirror, the big mirror, and they do shit like that in the mirror to see how they look like that. You know, because they can't wait to engage in that type of shit. Because you're not feeding them nothing else. And I'm not talking about all of you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about all of you. And you know that. You know. And those who get defensive, meaning that means I've struck a nerve. So deal with it. Beyonce, Nicki Minaj. Do a survey and count. You can literally count of how many of these young girls. When I say young girls, I'm talking about 11 on up. That has, if they dance, they'll dance just like one of these Beyonce or one of them. You know, doing all the single ladies and all that bullshit. You know. And the thing about it, y'all love Beyonce and them. They don't do nothing positive. When have they made a record about, you know, getting straight A's and going to school, try to be a doctor, try to be a lawyer, tell the little queens to, you know, don't follow my lead. But see, they're not going to do that because they're getting paid. They're getting paid to fuck your babies up. That's why they're getting paid. Because a lot of them don't even have talent. And you know who plays a major role in that? When they looking for a way out, and the reason why they don't have a way out, the black church. And I'm talking about these mega churches primarily. You know, the ones y'all watch on TV and You went on and got Direct TV and Fire Sticks and all this bullshit, so you can specifically watch these motherfucking pulpit pimps. You know, tell you ain't going to heaven because you ain't got a certain amount of money in your bank account to give them. You know, TD snakes and, you know, get more dollars and all these goddamn demons. They're so fucking demonic. They're so fucking demonic. And the Stellar Awards is no different than the BET Awards. Now you see it for yourself. That looks like the Soul Train Awards. That's the Stellar Awards. You know, and then they got all them homosexuals, Ty Tibet and all them motherfuckers. You know, Donnie McClurkin, who's supposed to be, what the fuck is a recovering fag? You know, I've been clean for a year. I haven't made a man's nuts in 6 months. You know, get the fuck out of here. You are a fucking faggot, man. Deal with it. Deal with it. Deal with it. You know, most of you are. Come as you are. You know, those choirs, when you see those Stellar Awards and most of the men in the choirs, you know, you can look at them and see them dance. It's so much dick eating and so much ass eating in the church. It is pathetic. It is pathetic. It is pathetic. And these pastors, it's these pastors doing that shit. You know, they gonna lay hands on you and all this bullshit. You know, and it's where they laying their hands at. And it's so, you know, the black community has engulfed itself in so much demonic energy that, you know, like I always told y'all, it's a lot of people we got to get rid of. I'm sorry. Look at this motherfucker. He was on the Stellar Awards and he done a song. Now this human giraffe, this motherfucker smokes more weed than the law allows. He's a snake. He's a snitch. He has something to do with Pac being murdered. He's the only one that hasn't been to jail, that's been involved in homicides and all types of felony charges. Everybody else has either met their demise or doing from now on in jail, except this motherfucking toothpick. You know, and now he does the Stellar Awards. He's a total negative influence. He's an informant. He's not to be fucked with. And he wasn't no Crip. He paid his way to wear those colors. You know, but you got a couple of niggas that kiss his ass because he sprinkle a few dollars to him, you know, and they keep his ego, you know, afloating. But the real niggas know that he's a cold bitch. Cold bitch. Cold bitch. And he's high now. At the Stellar Awards with a choir robe on. You know, high out of his mind. Off Molly's, E-pills, weed, liquor. And everybody thinks that shit cute because what he does, he pays people like Kurt Franklin and them, you know, to do that dumb shit. You know. You know, but next I'm gonna be talking about Otis Redding, and I'm gonna be talking about some other issues far as Craig Mack, the P. Diddy situation. You know, how all bad boy artists, have gotten fucked around to the point where most of them had to, run to a religion or run to God or whatever, and a lot of them have lost their minds. Because you have to understand, you're on top of the world one day, you sell 1 million copies of your hit single, and the next day you don't have anything. That's enough to make a person lose their mind. P. Diddy has, he's the culprit of a lot of deaths, a lot of sacrifices and everything, and that's just how he is. And I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to save it for the next video. But, sisters, y'all have to run these Planned Parenthoods out of the black community. I would even give you credit if you had a child and put it up for adoption. If a black couple were to adopt, not no 2 women, not no 2 fucking fags. I'm talking about a man and a woman adopt a baby and raise the child right. That's what we need. We have to get the black man back in the home. The black man didn't fall from grace. He was pushed from grace. He was knocked off from grace. Taken out of the home. And they give the black woman financial assistance, provided that she doesn't have anything to do with the black man. And that's why you have single parent homes. And then you have these sisters that the cracker has given them some toys and some change and some paper. Now they say they're the mother and the father. Not even if you was a lesbian, you couldn't be the mother and father. Abortion is the #1 killer in the black community. Since 1979, 53 million of our kings and queens have been murdered by way of abortion. And it's not the shootings in Chicago. That's bullshit. They just show you that part. Because there's no way they know how many black males are in the city, in the 21 different wards in Chicago. They know how many black males reside in those wards. And then when they have these mass murders, these mass shootings, it shouldn't be hard for them to make an arrest. They have not made one arrest in Chicago for any of those murders. But every time a cracker is murdered, the arrest comes within a matter of hours. Just like the cracker that went to the school in Orlando. He's not going to get a lot of time. He's white. He has white privilege. So he's going to get evaluated. And the bed wench that was in the movie, they played in the movie, see, that's an example of what's going to happen to this boy. Because the last boy that did that, the last white boy that went into school, and that bed wench talked him out of doing that, she's going around the country lecturing on and trying to convince people to forgive this motherfucking cracker. That he's not responsible for what he's done. But you wouldn't do that to a brother. You wouldn't even do it to your own biological brother. Because a lot of you are engulfed with white supremacy, the system of racism, white supremacy. Because see, When Sharpton and Jackson come on any scene of any atrocity, you know it's a fucking rap. And that's what Sharpton did in Ferguson. Because it was a peaceful protest in Ferguson. And the people had their hands up, and these motherfucking crackers still shot at them and pepper sprayed them and tear gassed them with their hands up. See, they didn't show you that. They only showed the violent shit. And then when Sharpton and Jackson come, you know, Sharpton says, let the law prevail. See, these niggas are paid by white supremacy. Sharpton and Jesse. And this is for anybody that may run or know Jesse Jackson. If you see him, ask him, how did he get out of Memphis the night King was shot? Because it was only one plane allowed to leave Memphis that night, and that was the FBI. Everything else was closed. No one was allowed to leave Memphis. And how did you get out of Memphis the night King was shot? You know, brothers and sisters, we have to continue to work. We have continued to stay on our grind in terms of black liberation and salvation. I hope that I've given you some information, you know, some food for thought, where you can kind of do your own research and investigation. And you're going to come up with those statistics, those disheartening statistics of our kings and queens that are being aborted each day. Every 94 seconds. Every minute and a half, one of our babies are murdered. Abortion is murder. Abortion is murder. I don't care which way you put it. Abortion is murder. You're taking a fetus that's already been developed, and the cracker kills it. And what they do, you trade your baby in. I could see if you got raped. That may be something to consider. But look at all the, you know, Moms Mabley, Maya Angelou, they were conceived in rape. So, you know, a lot of that's questionable. And what they do now, they give you rewards. They give you 2 tickets to 6 Flags. They buy you a pair of Nike, some Jordans for your baby, for, you know, for killing your baby. They give you a pair of tennis shoes. A pair of tennis shoes for the murder of your child. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to get back with you all. We're going to do some more building. We're going to talk some more. And until then, Hotep, Black Power.